6 years now. The equipment is lying down in the heat in atomic energy. The project has stalled.
This was under your tenure as minister?
Yes.
To build a foundry to machine tooling?
Machine tooling, so that we develop the capacity to build machine spare parts for ourselves. Now we can get things for agriculture, for industry, for education.
So as you speak, we don't have a center that manufactures any tools?
Nothing. Let me tell you.
So we import all of those?
Yes.
What stalled the project? Was it lack of funding?
I don't know. I left, and then that was the end of it. I'm told that yesterday or a few days ago, the new minister went there with a few people, but the way they are going about it.
Which minister? Minister for?
The environment, the one who is acting now, I don't know him.
That would be, I see, because they haven't appointed a substantive environment.
Maybe the acting one.
Wow.
Went there with some, but even from what I heard happened at the site, I think they need some tuition to get that thing done properly.
We're speaking to Professor Frimpong Boateng, who has a lot to share. He doesn't think Ghana is working with a development plan. He doesn't like assessing governments without a long-term plan. We are discussing many issues. We'll talk about Galamsey and how the fight is going. We'll also look at the party that he worked under in the past years. How are they faring? All this and more. Stay with us.
Full of questions, where truth often hides behind noise, one show dares to ask what truly matters face to face. With fearless clarity and a quest for accountability, host Umaru Amadou sits down with the movers and shakers of politics, governance, society, and business, confronting the issues that define our national conversation.
Yes, I am Umaru Amadou. This is Face to Face, and you're welcome.
I say very often on the floor of Parliament that when we were in government, we got some things right, we got some things wrong.
Are you still planning to go to Parliament, or you want to look at National Party office position?
No, I'll be going back to Parliament. There's an unfinished business which I need to do.
Sports has 3 legs: development, management, and promotion.
Disintegration is extreme. We do not wish that even on your worst enemy.
Every Tuesday at 9 p.m., join Umaru Amadou on Face to Face as he digs deeper, challenges power, and reveals the stories shaping Ghana's future. Only on Channel One TV.
Welcome back. My guest tonight is Professor Kwabena Frimpong Boateng, who is former Minister for Environment and, of course, the man who set up Ghana's Cardiothoracic Center, also ran Kolebu Teaching Hospital, celebrated global cardiothoracic surgeon with colors from Germany. In fact, he has something on his table. Can you show it to me? This is the German government recently gave him an award. What's the name of the award? What is this? I don't know what it means. Is it like a flag of the country? What is this?
This is the German flag, and then the German Adler, the eagle.
So is it like a state award or a state
award
recognition
yeah,
for the work you did in Germany or post your Germany surgery?
In Germany, and also trying to link some German institutions with Ghanaian institutions.
So you've been working on that since you left?
Seriously.
So Germany is the country where you get a lot of your how shall I say, your science training. You were trained in Germany.
Yeah, and I still do research with some institutions.
From
Even
Germany?
now, yes.
Okay.
And this is something that nobody cares. Nobody asks me any question in this country. You know, what is your opinion? What can we do here?
If the
Nobody
current
cares.
government asks you to do some work for it, would you do it?
Of course I'll do it for Ghana. And I've been doing that all the time.
Do you still consider yourself a member of the MPP?
Where the present MPP is not MPP, it's fake.
What?
Yeah. What I see now, it is not the MPP I used to know.
But the question still stands. Do you still consider yourself a member of the MPP?
Not the fake one.
So which one is the real one?
The real one is there. It's a virtual thing, and the members are there in the background.
You think that... I don't understand.
But look at how they elected their last flag bearer. You know, twist the arms of weak and
This is for the 2024 election.
yes, twist people's arms, bribing delegates, and intimidating others to get a flag bearer. You know, this is the beginning of corruption, and this should not be allowed in any serious situation or in any serious party. And there were issues. We lost the elections badly, and we did not deal with the issues that led to the losses. And then we still want to go in there, and I think it would be a train wreck if they elect the old flag bearer.
So your November article around how the MPP is proceeding suggests that you don't have confidence in the processes of electing a flag bearer.
No.
Really?
No.
Is your problem with the Dr. Bawumia or with the MPP?
No. Bawumia is a very nice person, but being nice alone is not enough to be to lead Nkrumah's Ghana.
But he's not just a nice person. He's worked at African Development Bank. He's been vice president for 8 years. He's an economist. So he's a professional.
Yes, but you see, the thing is that why do you think that economists are the people who create jobs and who create wealth? They are not the ones. I told you, look at the Chinese situation. If we have a program and you don't get the scientists, researchers, investors, and so involved, it will not succeed. Long-term development depends. For example, if you set up a factory, you need to improve the product or introduce new ones. How do you do that? It's through research.
But a president doesn't work alone. The current president is a historian. The former president was a lawyer. Rawlings was a soldier. But they've all been presidents. So I'm not sure how he's been an economist is a problem. Because the idea is
it's
not...
It's a problem because you think you know and you don't know.
Economists think they know.
Yes.
Yet they don't know.
No.
But
Some of them.
But not all professionals don't know everything.
I know. But you see,
so isn't the key thing the question
if you have a
of
baggage, you have a baggage. You know. The Akufo-Addo and his family thing baggage is still there, and he himself has said that if the present president is a Northerner, if he's going away, it will be difficult for another Northerner to come, and so we should have voted for him. And he said it. Bawumia said that. So how do we then go into elections knowing very well that Ghanaians are not likely to vote for another Northerner if a Northerner is going out?
But we all don't know that.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying, that we should have dealt with these issues. You know, people said that it's a Muslim, is Ghana ready for? No, I'm not supporting these things, but we should deal with them, educate people.
But the best way to deal with it is to vote. So the people who choose the flag bearer, right?
No. You have to educate people and deal with the issues, disabuse people's mind, and then we can go on with somebody
So
who is
you're
strong.
saying that if he wins, so are you worried about the process that's selecting him?
The process,
or the fact that the country may not be ready for a person like him?
both.
What do you think is the biggest reason why MPP lost so badly in the last election?
Oh, the arrogance, the corruption, economic decline, and the behavior of some members of government and the president's family. These were very serious issues.
So it's possible that people punished him and the party for what the government did.
Yes, and he was part of it. And so far, he has not distanced himself from some of these characters.
So
And
he ought to do that.
He ought to do
if
that.
so you think if he's to be, I don't want to use the word credible, but if he's to convince
If
Ghanaians,
he's his own person, he convinced Ghanaians that he's his own person, he should distance himself from what happened in the past.
but why are you saying that? He won an election. We saw he.
Yeah, but of course we won the election. Well, you know everything that went about Ghana, how delegates were influenced and so on in various ways. And don't think that Ghanaians don't know these things. And what has happened in between, so far we have not dealt with these issues. And what I'm saying is that we should have dealt with these issues before, you know.
So you obviously disagree from your article from the party's approach to choose a flag bearer first.
Yes, we should have waited, both the party up from the grassroots, choose the executive from the polling stations and regions and so on before. But now, they want to choose a flag bearer. And the party executives are behind, are supporting him. The party headquarters is more or less an extension of his campaign office.
But the other candidates haven't said this. I haven't heard. Okay, maybe I haven't.
Because maybe they don't want to offend people, you keep quiet, but that's not why.
So you think the current party executives are working to get him to win?
Yes.
But you don't have any evidence of that.
What evidence do you want?
Active collusion, meetings, statements that confirm this
Of course, there are statements.
from the current executive that they
Yes.
want him to win.
Yes. For example, when the other candidates who
I'm talking national executive now, not regional executive.
yeah,
National
more or less,
executive.
they all just support him. This is what I think.
In the current five, is there any of them who you think, if he won, can shift the party's chances in the 2028 election?
Well, I think any other person will have a better chance.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Any other than Bawumia?
Yes.
Because of his association with the, but they all have association with the previous government. One was an education minister, one was a minister of.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You see, in the first round, they all supported him. So education minister and the others supported him, and now they've left him. Why? Why have they left him? Those who supported him, why have they left him? If he was that strong, you know, why are they competing with him?
But you ran for president in MPP as well. The fact that you ran doesn't mean you did not support somebody you went against. It was all a question of throwing your hat in the ring, right?
Ghana would have been quite different if I became a president. You know it. Ghana would have been a different country.
You are sure of this?
Oh, sure.
I mean,
Let me tell you what this is something here down.
Maybe
What I expect of a president, you know. What I expect of a president. I expect that a president will have a clear vision, you know, and lead by example. Not corrupt, not greedy for money, wealth, or properties, no family, friends, or concubines government, no square pegs in round holes. He must have the will to make a difference and have sound moral values, be passionate about developing Ghana, resilient and adaptable, or having the courage to do what is right and not what is easy. And by that I mean not just changing minds, but evolving and forming new opinions as better data become available. And the president must also empower institutions and monitor, and above all, sanction bad behavior. And these things are lacking.
but the current president seems to be doing better
I like him.
than the previous one.
Yeah, I
At
like
least for
him.
the first year.
I like him. Recently, we were at a function. The teachers had a function, and he was there.
Yes,
I was there.
yes, the nuts.
The
I
nuts-
think some anniversary event.
Yeah, 30
where I think Kwame
something.
Pini was also there
Yes, I was also there.
last week.
At least I was looking for the presidential chair that travels with the president, and there was nothing like that there.
You're looking for the presidential chair.
That you know that I thought president would sit on, but Mahama sat on the chair that we all sat on the same thing, and I think that was good.
So when you compare Mahama now to Akufo-Addo and to Mahama 1, the first Mahama in 2012.
I did not follow that regime that much.
So when you compare Mahama to Mr. Mahama to the previous president,
No, it's very difficult to compare. I mean, they are all, I'm not saying Akufo-Addo is not a tyrant. It's not evil. I mean, he's a nice man, approachable, but he was unduly influenced by his family people, especially the one who called himself the prime minister.
Which one?
Well, if you don't know, I'm not here to mention names.
He was unduly influenced by his family
Yes.
people. Was this during your first term? Was it during your time you were minister, or when you left the government?
Well, when I was minister, I did not see that much, but after I've left, you know, things deteriorated after I left the place.
Did you get to speak to him about this? Did you tell the president this?
What?
That he was being unduly influenced by his family members?
No, I mean, how can I've left his government?
No, when you were in government with him, did you complain about these things to him?
No, I didn't complain.
Did you have access to him as minister?
You see, the thing is, if you're a minister, the president cannot be your friend. He's your boss, and you relate to him on business basis.
But I'm able to tell my boss sometimes if things are going wrong. If my boss asks me, why are we not performing? I can say to him that the head of production is not
No,
performing.
it-
And that
my duty was...
So I'm saying it should be possible to tell your president
No,
if you work with him.
my duty was to introduce programs that I think will help Ghana. For example, this machine tool and foundry. This will give us the capacity to do things, you know, manufacture things. And look, we build roads. We are building roads everywhere. And what do we carry on the roads? Is passengers, charcoal, sometimes we under the charcoal. And we don't see industrial goods. I mean, you should be seeing things, spare parts from here going to an assembly plant, things. But you don't see anything that is being transported on the roads. And we see I've been on roads all the time. For what? The roads
To
are
move
good.
food.
Huh?
To move food.
Who is planting the food?
In the hinterland, Techima, they plant plantain.
You go and see what is happening.
So for you, the economic development cannot happen without the tooling.
Yes, you need to create
So you're talking about
things.
production capacity.
Production capacity.
Production capacity.
Whatever I want to produce. I mean, agriculture, for example, you need to till the land. You know, you need machines to do that. The harrow, plow, and you need machine to...
And you're saying you have to manufacture it here.
Yeah, why not?
But can't you still be productive if you import it
Yeah,
and
why
use
do you
it for
import
now?
it? Because there are people in Ghana who can do these things.
At a relative cheaper price?
Yes. I know one or two factories that are good in automation. You know, they are specialized in PLC, programmable logic control. So we can automate everything that we want to do. Cassava, production, gari, or palm oil, all the things that we are doing, carrying food stuff from one station to the other. There are people in Ghana, Ghanaian companies, if they got the help, could do it, you know.
So if you meet the current president today, what would you advise him? What would be the most important thing you say to him to transform the country?
Well, you know, I don't want to say anything now, but if he calls me, we'll sit down with him and talk.
But clearly to be in the science area, technology, science.
No, anything that will give us the capacity to help ourselves. Do you understand? I mean, for example, we are building roads, drainage covers. These are all imported. How?
Drainage covers are all imported.
Yeah.
The metals that we use.
Yes.
You're sure of this?
Of course. Who is producing them in
Ah,
Ghana?
people, welders can do them.
Welders.
Simple drainage cover.
You say it's
There's
simple.
Fabri Metal. There's a big steel company in Tema called B5 Plus.
Yeah,
They
but
do
they are
produce.
no, they are producing iron rods and things like that. But for these covers, you need a foundry, you know.
I used to don't have any foundry in Ghana.
And listen, Bernard, we are not using the university. Look at it, even the technical universities that we have. Some of them are in certain special areas. Sunyani Technical University, they are into mechatronics. And when I was minister, I went there and I said that, I met the people, I said, look, within 2 years, Ghana should be able to bring a prototype of an electric vehicle. And I knew what I was...
What year was this?
Oh, that was the first time, maybe 2 years before I left.
You thought within 2 years we could have
Yes,
come
we
up
could
with a
have done
prototype
that.
of an
Yeah,
EV?
because looking at what they do, I mean, Takoradi Technical University are into oil and gas. Accra Technical University, Kumasi, Sunyani, and...
So they have different specializations.
different specialization. But nobody knows what they're doing. And what plans do you have for these students when they complete? So there must be a plan. If we say oil and gas in a university, then we know that after the studies, you have a plan to move there. That's what the Chinese did. You know, you go to George Grant University in Takwa, you know. Then I met people, some of the professors who are into production of processing of iron ore. You know, we have iron ore deposit. They have found a new method of producing iron from the oil.
And it's not being commercialized.
It's not being commercialized. We need to shepherd these things from research into commercialization. This is what I'm talking about. There are so many things going around. And even as minister, we went to tech, chemical engineering. And at that time, KK Sapon was DNPC something, you know. And we helped a group of students to produce hydraulic oil from castor oil plants. You know, see, there are so many things that we can do for ourselves, but we need to help these people, shepherd the people, so that the universities will become sites for incubation of companies. This is the thing. This is what I'm trying to say. If we have this, if we keep people busy, research and things busy, it's not we are going to give $3 billion cedis to $3 billion to prop up the whatever.
Big push.
No, not big push. CD to push to
stop the depreciation. But that's also a problem.
Yeah, but then at the same time, if we are not able to produce anything, then it will be a perpetual thing. You put in money all the time to do that.
We'll take a break. This is the point of view. My guest, Professor Frimpong Boateng, has a lot to say about development. He thinks if we want to develop, we must learn how to make things. We'll deal with some other points when we come back. Stay with us.
Habibi, my people, welcome to Dubai. My name is Sheikh Alkal bin Maktoum. Okay, so I am Caleb, right? Caleb Kuda is my name, and this is Beyond Borders on Channel One Television. We are in Dubai. So join me. Let us explore the allure, the beauty, and the reality of life and living it in Dubai through the eyes and the experiences of our compatriots.
Imagine 6 people, 10 people sharing a common room together.
If you're not complain there in the sense, why do I share one rooms now? It doesn't smell pleasant. Or haunting no complaints now, baby, into the fear no tomb.
Dubai is one of the most organized, highly resourced, and well-endowed countries you would find.
You've been here for 7 months.
Yes.
Without a job.
Yeah.
How is it like?
So hard.
Tell me about it.
Struggling, renting and feeding is so hard.
Every frame per second of their lives in Dubai tells a story. And we've got it all captured right here on Beyond Borders, only on Channel One Television. So don't get told, don't miss out. Catch these compelling stories of Ghanaians in Dubai only on Beyond Borders on Channel One TV.
Beyond Borders airs every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. only on Channel One TV and is brought to you by Copen Hospitality.
We're speaking to Professor Kwabena Frimpong Boateng, celebrated cardiothoracic surgeon, politician before. We're not even sure if he's a politician anymore. You're no longer a politician.
We are all politicians. I mean, everybody's a politician. But
well, at least you ran for president. At least you did.
Not because I wanted to be president. People run.
I know. You had ideas you wanted to implement.
We're in a different country by now.
Really?
And look at South Korea. When we started CSIR, they were like us. They were importing textiles, plywood, and wigs. The 3 main exports, 1960s. Then they went into one product alone, LCD. Has changed them. And we are here. Look, when Nkrumah started the shoe factory in 1960-61, we were he was ahead of Nike. Nike started producing shoes in 1964. Can you imagine how far we've led things? Ghana Atomic Energy Commission, Nkrumah imported a 2 megawatt reactor from Russia to power the research plant. It didn't come. But the North Koreans used the same technology. They had the same technology. Look at what you've done with us. And we, the British bought for us location, a machine tool center and second D to service the railway system. It was the same technology that they had at that time, and the British improved theirs and used that same technology to produce fighter planes for the Second World War. And we have sat down, everything is gone. I mean, this is a country of missed opportunities. And we are not doing well. I mean, this vision, this is what President Rawlings said. Vision 2020, which was presented to Parliament by President Rawlings. Firstly, the only means by which the country's resources can be used effectively to achieve rapid economic growth while maintaining the integrity of the environment hinges on the integration of science, technology in all programs. This is what President Rawlings said. And this is no different from what Nkrumah said.
So you seem to like the two of them a lot, Nkrumah and Rawlings.
No, of course, not like them, but they had. Nkrumah had good programs. Look,
don't forget that both men had the longest time of all our presidents.
No, it was Rawlings who had the longest time.
Yes, I'm saying both. If you compare everybody, Nkrumah, if you look at when he became prime minister.
But Nkrumah, in the short time, was able to do a lot. Rawlings was not like Nkrumah. He was a young man. He loved Ghana. He wanted to improve things, but he lacked the education, the experience, and the knowledge, and he relied on people who preferred to chase their perceived or real enemies. They let Rawlings down.
How do you think the Galamsey fight is going? You wrote about this in 2021 when...
I don't want to talk about Galamsey because, you see, the MPP loved it. No, the NDC loved it. And they went, MPP came and they loved it. NDC has come and they love it. So, and the two NDC and NPP, they are from the same parents as far as Galamsey is concerned. So...
They have the same parent?
Yes.
When it comes to Ghana. So you don't see any difference between how MDC is dealing with it from how MPP
No.
At all?
No. In some areas, it's been getting worse. The impunity is still there. My brother, the lance minister, go to his district.
Kofi Boah.
I have relatives there.
Elembele.
I have relatives there.
And what are they telling you?
Terrible. One of the worst areas in Ghana. What did you ask them?
Wow.
I'm saying this because I have relatives there.
But the noise about Galamsey has reduced.
Yes, because the MPP has no moral courage to criticize anything. They did worse things. And the NDC too will not criticize themselves. We were criticizing our party and our people for doing the wrong thing. But NDC will not do that. They will keep quiet and enjoy it. Some people maybe depend upon Galamsey to provide their war chest in some maybe ministers, MPs. So they are quiet. They are just getting money for the next elections. And if you are enjoying it, why should they fight it?
The economy has been stabilized. Some people think that some of that has had to do with gold because the exports of gold have gone up. The setting up of the gold board has increased the harvesting of gold proceeds. Some of that money has been used to support the Ghana cedi. Yeah. I don't know what you make of that whole...
Yeah, it appears good, but not for exporters, exporters and also for the environment. I mean, you cannot... let me say one thing. It is good that Ghana is taking steps to take charge of the gold industry. That is good. But it should not be done at the expense of the environment. And the gold board is getting its gold from small-scale miners and so on, not from the large-scale miners. And most not most, a lot of the small-scale miners are Galamsey operators. So that's where we have to be very careful that we do not...
They say they have a tracing system that they can use to clamp down on illegally acquired gold.
This is intellectual exercise.
So what's the best way to clamp down on Galamsey?
I'm not going to say it. I'm only saying it when people are serious. Now I don't see any...
Okay, I'm serious.
No, you are, but
I want to know. When you tell me, I will say it on air every day for 1 week.
No. I mean, I don't want to.
No, but what do you have to lose? Is it a statistic?
No.
Or is it like when you say the Galamseyers will change their approach or something?
No. For example, if, let's say the lance minister or somebody else, we can sit down quietly and then think about it.
So you believe you have the blueprint for them?
I'm not saying I'm the only person.
I'm trying to understand you. You're saying that if you meet somebody like the minister,
we share ideas.
You can give him your candid views on how to solve Galamsey.
We'll share ideas. For example, when I was in charge of the fight, people were afraid even to go on the water bodies because we had the equipment to carry everything away, the floaters and the machines. Now what they do is the floating things are there, they go and bend the chamfans on the thing, but we'll carry everything away. And we had 2 depots. One depot was in Kumasi and one in Takoradi. The idea was that we were going to purge this metal, send them to at the top where the foundry was going to take place, and use the metal to create things, including some of these things that I'm talking about, in the foundry. And when I left, the people went and dismantled the depot that we had in Takoradi and Kumasi, and they carried their things away. Do you understand? And we also had boats that were able to carry these things away from. And I mentioned this to MPP when I left. They did not follow up. And I mentioned it to friends in the NDC, some of them. So, as I said, it is good that the NDC is taking steps for us to be in charge of the gold trade. That is very important. But it should not be done at the expense of the environment. But anybody who wants to chat with me, we can meet and then we chat about the country, how we can make this country a better place.
I like your passion for the nation. It is to be admired. Thank you. We're speaking to Professor Kwabena Frimpong Boateng, a man who's dedicated his life to, obviously, public service in many ways. He's been talking to us about the state of the nation, passionate about transformation. Ghana must learn to make its own things if we are to economically develop. Thanks for watching tonight's edition of The Point of View. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
The Soweto Secondary School SWESCO Alumni Association invites all alumni to its annual all-year groups Thanksgiving and Remembrance Service. There will be remembrance of the departed PACAs and also the launch of the 67th Speech and Prize Giving Day. The date, Sunday the 18th of January 2026. Time, it's 2 p.m. Venue, Cedar Mountain Assemblies of God Church, East Legon. Contact your year group president and register your attendance now. Semper Cum Optimus, always with the best. In a world filled with challenges, we all need guidance, hope, and a lifeline to anchor us.
This is Lifeline, and I'm your host, Fred Crunchy Mensah.
From social issues, relationship challenges, and family matters, Lifeline is here to inspire, uplift, and guide you on your journey.
Where we give you support, where we hold your hand through the valley and through the thick and thins of life.
Join Bishop Fred Crunchy Mensah.
I welcome you especially to Lifeline.
Every Tuesday and Thursday at 10 p.m. right here on Channel 1 TV. Let's walk this path together, strengthen our faith, our families, and our lives. Lifeline, because every soul deserves a guiding light. Tune in to Lifeline on Channel 1 TV and let's grow together.
In a nation full of questions, where truth often hides behind noise, one show dares to ask what truly matters face to face. With fearless clarity and a quest for accountability, host Umaru Sanda Amadou sits down with the movers and shakers of politics, governance, society, and business, confronting the issues that define our national conversation.
Yes, I am Umaru Sanda Amadou. This is Face to Face, and you're welcome.
I say very often on the floor of Parliament that when we were in government, we got some things right, we got some things wrong.
Are you still planning to go to Parliament, or you want to look at National Party office position?
No, I'll be going back to Parliament. There's an unfinished business which I need to do.
Sports has three legs: development, management, and promotion.
Disintegration is extreme. We do not wish that even on your worst enemy.
Every Tuesday at 9 p.m., join Umaru Sanda Amadou on Face to Face as he digs deeper, challenges power, and reveals the stories shaping Ghana's future. Only on Channel 1 TV.
Hello, this is Newsfeed on Channel 1 TV. You're welcome to the program. Coming up in this edition, Ghana Water Limited discloses the country faces national water supply shortfall of more than 130 million gallons per day. Also in this bulletin, members of the Public Accounts Committee raised concerns over the breakdown of a ferry operating on the Volta Lake at Agrodeke in the Afram Plains North District. In business, Agricultural Research Scientist Professor Roger Canton calls for urgent action to revamp the Tumu and Wa cotton ginneries in the northern Ghana. And later in sports, former Black Star psychologist Dr. Patrick Ofori dismisses calls for creation of special committee to oversee the disbursement of sports funds. I am Charles Ozukumi. Let's get into the details of the bulletin. And Managing Director of Ghana Water Limited, Adam Mutawakilu, has disclosed that the country faces a national water supply shortfall of more than 130 million gallons daily. He says Accra alone requires about 210 million gallons of water each day, more than half of the national demand, yet production shortfalls continue to frustrate consumers. Speaking on the City Breakfast Show, Adam Mutawakilu noted that despite the supply challenges, less than one-third of the water produced fails to reach consumers due to illegal connections and weak infrastructure. He says these factors continue to contribute to the frustration of water users across the country.
Nationally, we are the demand is 350 million gallons a day. That means all of that is being equal. We have to produce it every day.
Okay.
But currently we produce 240 million gallons. Yeah. So about 136 million gallons shortfall every day.
I see.
So that means that if we produce, there will be a huge shortfall. Now, if we narrow it to Accra, the daily demand in Accra is 210 million gallons.
Wow.
And we produce 137.
So Accra is more than half of the national demand.
About 60–70%.
Hey, and you produce 137.
Yeah, so a
For Accra.
shortfall of about 73 million gallons.
Now, in some other news, members of the Public Accounts Committee of Parliament have expressed concern over the breakdown of a ferry operating on the Volta Lake at Agodeke in the Afram Plains North District, which has been out of service for the past 9 weeks. The ferry broke down following damage to 2 of its engines, forcing residents and traders to rely on wooden boats, many of which lack life jackets, thereby raising serious safety concerns. Farmers, traders, and residents in the area have been severely affected by the breakdown of the ferry, which is not only the sole means of transport across the lake, but also the safest option available. When management of the Volta Lake Transport Company Limited appeared before the Public Accounts Committee, some members of the committee assured the public of their commitment to ensuring that the broken down ferry is repaired as a matter of urgency.
I want to say that there's a crisis there. Many of my constituents are in those areas. They are farmers. For 9 weeks, many of them have harvested their products, even transportation, bringing them out to the markets and all of that. It's a crisis. It is akin to, let's say, the road between Accra and Kumasi getting blocked, having a huge crack, and trucks are unable to access it. So it's a national security issue. It's an issue that I want to respectfully plead with the minister that let's get something done about this as soon as possible, because the people they are crying.
Meanwhile, Managing Director of the Volta Lake Transport Company Limited, Angela Alowute, assured that government is making efforts to fix the ferry within a month.
I want to take this opportunity to empathize with the people of Agodeke, who are Afram Plains, where they rely only on us. And for almost 9 weeks now, all the 2 engines on the vessel are down. The 2 engines are down. We can't get the parts. We need generators. We need 2 generators. We have only 1 on. Everything is just not working. But I want to say that there is hope. We will do everything within our means. The minister is working hard with us to make sure that in the next 1 month or 1.5 months, we will be able to resolve some of these issues.
Well, let's stay at the Public Accounts Committee because the Ghana Airports Company Limited says travelers with licensed weapons can board flights after declaring them to security. Now, this follows the confiscation of over 2,000 unlicensed weapons and ammunition as revealed in the 2024 Auditor General's report. Now, appearing before the committee, the Managing Director of the Ghana Airports Company Limited, Yvonne Opari, stated that a weapon declaration policy has been put in place to ensure passenger safety. Here are excerpts of that committee hearing.
If you have a weapon with you at the airport, what happens?
So, if you have a weapon currently, you have to declare it.
Okay.
Once you declare it and it's licensed, you are able to travel with it. If it is not licensed, we confiscate it and send it to National Investigation Bureau.
What if it's licensed but you haven't declared it?
If it's not declared, we still confiscate.
Whom will you disclose it to?
To the Aviation Security Department of the airport.
We are talking about Terminal 2, not Terminal 3 now. Those are the local flights. Yes. Local flights, Terminal 2.
Yes, please.
Okay, so you disclose it to the airport security?
Yes, please.
Okay, and then they will help you register it, right?
Yes, please.
Away from that, senior partner at AB and David Africa, David Ofosu-Dorte, has highlighted several areas in which President John Dramani Mahama has performed strongly during his first year in office, commending the administration for stabilizing critical sectors of the economy. He made these remarks during a roundtable discussion on the theme John Mahama 2.0 Thematic Assessment of Year 1, aired on Channel One TV today, Tuesday, January 13, 2026. David Ofosu-Dorte said the government has delivered in areas that were most urgently required, following its assumption of office, particularly efforts to halt further deterioration after a challenging economic period.
Otherwise, there must be a benchmark based upon which I'm assessing. Now, what was required? What was required has nothing to do with what he said he would do or what the people say he would do. What was required in a situation where we had come from a DDEP situation, an IMF situation with all the chaos that was around, which is what Prof has already elaborated. For me, any good manager will tell you that in such a situation, the first thing you need to do is to stop the deterioration. Now, what was deteriorating that he needed to stop? Let's give a couple of examples. One is the road sector. So if the road is deteriorating, what has been put in place to ensure that the deterioration is stopped? And I think there are a lot of examples which has come on your station. I believe during the discussion going on, we can cite a lot of those examples. Quite a lot of road projects planned, but this is stage one. Stopping deterioration doesn't mean resting on your oars.
Well, let's stay with the Channel One roundtable discussion because agricultural research scientist Professor Roger Canton has raised concerns over the sustainability of farming in Ghana, warning that current food prices are too low to support farmers' livelihoods despite increasing production. He stressed that while consumers may benefit from affordable food, the prices at which farmers are selling their produce makes it difficult for them to cover costs, invest in quality inputs, and make a fair income.
Now, the prices of food in Ghana currently are far lower, in fact, maize, far lower than the world global maize price. In fact, to be specific, in my own area, where I come from, I'm Mississauga, if you go to the Mississauga area, where we are told we are the best producers of quality global maize, and that is a fact, by the immediate past minister, Honorable Dr. Brian Achampong. That is a fact, the evidence is there, you know. But a bag of maize, 100 kilograms, is selling at a paltry, in fact, it started 220 Ghana cedis. What is 220 Ghana cedis in dollar terms? It drifted up to around 250. As I talk today, you will be lucky to have maize to go for 280 Ghana cedis. It's still dangling between 240, 250 in Tumu, the Sala area, which is so bad.
Meanwhile, Executive Director of Africa Education Watch, Kofi Asare, also speaking at the Channel One TV roundtable discussion, called on government to urgently deploy teachers to underserved communities and back such postings with the deprived area allowance it promised, warning that inaction is deepening the teacher deficit nationwide. While assessing the one-year performance of President John Dramani Mahama, Kofi Asare said the government's failure to recruit teachers in 2025 has left about 30,000 classrooms without teachers, with serious consequences for basic education.
The government promised that it's going to implement a policy where teachers that are set posting to deprived areas will be given an allowance. I think it's a 20% allowance, deprived area allowance. We are in year 2. Such incentives must go with deploying teachers to those areas. Other than that, you will deploy 30K, but they won't go to Tatale Sangoli.
They won't go.
They won't go to Afram Place. And so that 20% deprived area allowance is critical for implementation in 2026.
Well, you're still watching News Video on Channel One TV. I am Charles Osukumi. Still ahead, New Patriotic Party justifies decision to initiate removal of former Minister for Environment, Science and Technology, Professor Frimpong Boateng. We have details in a bit. Please stay with us.
The Soweto Secondary School SWESCO Alumni Association invites all alumni to its annual all-year groups Thanksgiving and Remembrance Service. There will be remembrance of the departed PACAs and also the launch of the 67th Speech and Prize Giving Day. The date, Sunday the 18th of January 2026. Time, it's 2 p.m. Venue, Cedar Mountain Assemblies of God Church, East Legon. Contact your year group president and register your attendance now. Semper Cum Optimus, always with the best.
Welcome back. This is Newsfeed on Channel One TV with me, Charles Osukumi. Let's do some more stories. Now, the General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party has justified the party's decision to initiate removal proceedings against former Minister for Environment, Science and Technology, Professor Frimpong Boateng, following his comments describing the party as fake. In an interview on The Point of View here on Channel One TV, Professor Frimpong Boateng stated that the current NPP does not represent the party he belongs to, insisting that it has deviated from its original values. Reacting to the comments in an interview with Channel One TV, NPP General Secretary Justin Frimpong Kodia explained that the move to expel the former minister is consistent with provisions of the party's constitution.
The Patriotic Party is governed by rules. It's a party governed by laws. And therefore, when a person makes a statement which constitutes a misconduct, the party has to follow due process. And that is what we have done as a party.
When you say due process, can you help us?
Well, it was on your station where Professor Frimpong Boateng made a careless statement, which we were not expecting from a man of his stature to have made. To make that statement that the New Patriotic Party is a fake party, and therefore he's not a member of that fake party. Ideally, I should have written a letter to expel him from the party based on what he has said. Or if even he had an integrity, I would have expected that by this morning he would have written a letter to the party to have officially resigned from the party. But he has not done that. But as a party, as I indicated, which follow due process, we have to take him through the process.
Now, the Public Utilities Workers Union of the Trades Union Congress has described the government's plans to introduce private sector participation into the Electricity Company of Ghana as unjustifiable, citing significant gains achieved through the recent turnaround program. The turnaround program, implemented between July and December 2025 in collaboration with the Ministry of Energy and Green Transition, according to the union, led to an increase in ECG's revenue from 900 million cedis to 1.75 billion cedis. For the union, this milestone demonstrates the capacity of public management to efficiently run power distribution companies, ECG and NEDCO, without private sector involvement. Speaking at a press conference, the Secretary General of the Trades Union Congress, Joshua Ansah, stated that the improvement represents a 90% increase in revenue, enabling timely payments to independent power producers.
The result of the turnaround program has been phenomenal. Verified performance data from this turnaround program indicate that ECG's average monthly revenue collection increased from approximately 900 million Ghana cedis to a record of 1.75 billion. This represents more than 90% increase in revenue collection. This remarkable improvement in revenue collection has ensured that power generators are now paid regularly, avoiding insistence where independent power producers threaten or actually shut down their production plants in projects of unpaid arrears. This partly explains why the lights have been extraordinarily stable.
Now, the executive chairman of the Jospon Group, Dr. Joseph Seun-Ojaapong, has underscored the critical role of purposeful leadership development. Addressing attendees on the opening day of the 13th Jospon Leadership Conference, Dr. Seun-Ojaapong urged leaders to make the conscious development of future strategic minds and innovators a priority. He also indicated that nurturing leadership is essential for adapting to dynamic conditions.
I have always been saying it, and I'm very committed to that.
that Warren Buffett says that if you're a CEO and you don't have your replacement, you are not doing your job. Every CEO must have a replacement. There's a time to born, a time to work, a time to rest, a time. There's time for everything. So when you are working and you are not placing time on yourself, then you are not trying to become the real human being that God created. On the 7th day, God rested. So there's a time to rest.
Now, the KGO Foundation has commissioned Gloria Boatima Dade Nifa Basic School for the good people of Edukrom in the Okra district of the Eastern region. The school, which has been named after the 90-year-old mother of the executive director of KGO Group, was first established in 1997 without a kindergarten, but can now boast of one, resourced with modern equipment to become a hub of technological excellence. The executive chairman of KGO Group, Alex Apau Dade, delivering a speech before handing over the keys of the newly renovated school to the Minister of Education, said the KGO Foundation has adopted the school and will make it a model institute of academic excellence, support the recruitment of quality teachers, provision of infrastructure and maintenance, with the establishment of a legacy fund for the school.
We will support recruiting and maintaining of the best academic staff. We intend to adopt the school, providing it with infrastructure, furniture, and that, and a legacy fund to maintain it. In short, Honorable Minister, we will take over the cost of maintaining the school. I have tasked my staff to look at how we resource the school, bringing in new furniture. As a tech company, we will also set up tech hubs here, and we intend not only to make it a model school in this community, but a model school in Ghana.
This is still Newsfeed on Channel One TV. Up next is Business with Nashika Caesar. Hello, Shika.
Hi, Charles.
Good to see you. How are you?
Good to see you too. I'm well. How are you doing?
I'm all right. What do you have for us?
Now, in business, agricultural research scientist Professor Roger Canton is calling for urgent action to revamp the Tumu and Wa cotton ginneries in northern Ghana. Speaking at a roundtable discussion organized by City FM and Channel One Television, assessing President John Mahama's first year in office, he noted that despite being established years ago, the facilities have remained largely underutilized, limiting their potential to boost local cotton production and support the agricultural sector. Professor Canton also noted that revitalizing the ginneries could create significant opportunities for farmers and local businesses.
The last is the Tumu Cotton Ginnery.
Tumu Cotton Ginnery?
Yes, it's number. In fact, it's if they don't, I won't come here for your discussion. Oh yes, because we have been following. I'm serious, Bernard. We if not, I'll bring cotton farmers from Sosala area. We will come and pick it at City here. But you are supposed to carry that for
Tumu Cotton Ginnery.
Yes, Tumu
What's
Cotton
happening
Ginnery.
to it?
It has been grounded.
So they should revamp it?
It should be revamped. And we have several other generations. You have one at Pusunamogo in the Upper East. You have one in Tamale. And you even have one in Wa. And if we are able to work on the cotton generate, it's a replica effect. In Benin, they call it the white gold. Benin have no oil. Benin have no any agric facility. It's only cotton. And today, Benin is the most developed West African country.
Let me understand, do we grow cotton in the country?
We used to grow the cotton in Tumu area there. Huge. In fact, we have the best cotton by then. Burkina was copying from us.
Now, the Center for Environmental Management and Sustainable Energy, CEMS, wants the government to implement sustained reforms in the energy sector to prevent the recurrence of mounting debts. The appeal follows reports that the government still owes independent power producers, IPPs, approximately $1.1 billion, despite having cleared portions of its arrears to meet energy sector obligations. In an interview with Channel One Business, the executive director of SEMS, Benjamin Insia, stressed the need for structural reforms, including the adoption of competitive power purchase agreements to ensure long-term financial sustainability in the sector.
It's one thing sustaining, it's one thing paying legacy debt, and another thing reaccumulating this debt in future, because there are certain times that we pay this debt, yet in future we reaccumulate them. So we have done well in sustaining, but I think the effort must be to put in certain reforms so that we don't reaccumulate this debt again. And looking at some of the recommendations from the World Bank through its Energy Sector Recovery Program report, I think that if we are able to implement them effectively in terms of signing good PPAs, in terms of signing good gas off-taker contracts that has value for money and that are not overpriced, in terms of reducing system losses from current 27% to PRC benchmark of 21%, as well as paying certain areas by government in the sector and removing subsidies, it will go a long way to sustain the sector and put the sector in a position of development, in the position of growth, in the position of expansion, and also in the position of sustainability.
And that's it for business. I am Nashika Caesar.
Next is sports with Bernarda Bekuachi. What's up?
Yeah, I'm great. How are you too?
I'm all right.
Yeah, good to see you.
When is the AFCON returning?
On Wednesday. That's tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's Nigeria up against the host nation. Two giant coaches, if you ask me. I feel, the Nigerian coach, Eric Shell, says he's going to sit deep and leave play for Morocco.
Really? Because, I mean, in all the Nigerian games I've watched, they've rather been on the offensive.
Yeah. So now he says he knows that, the host Morocco gets into a complicated situation when you leave the ball with them and then you go on a counter. So that's why he said it in plain language at the presser.
To put your strategy out there like that.
That's crazy, isn't it?
All right, then, Charlie, let's go.
Let's get into it, shall we now? We'll shift into other matters because former Black Star psychologist Dr. Patrick Ofori has dismissed calls for the creation of a special committee to supervise the disbursement of funds from the newly passed Ghana Sports Fund Bill, describing the proposal as unnecessary. Ghana's parliament passed the Ghana Sports Fund Bill 2025 in December, establishing a dedicated fund to support sport development with a focus on infrastructure, athlete welfare, and grassroots programs. Dr. Ofori argued that the National Sports Authority should be the sole mandated body to handle applications and oversee the distribution of funds from sports federations.
With regards to how the money should be administered, I don't think we need any committee also. I think under the Sports Council, or we can say the Sports Ghana, like UK Sports UK or Sports England. But there is
the National Sports Authority
should be the mandated agency that applications for the various federations and the athletes who want to go through. And why do I say that? You don't want to create another administrative bottleneck that the cost of running those committees and office will also be running the fund dry.
Well, I also love to talk about this AFCON, but let's project into 2027 because the draw for the preliminary round of the 2027 AFCON qualifiers has been conducted, marking the first step on the road to the tournament to be co-hosted by Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda. The preliminary round will determine which team advance into the main qualifiers or the main qualification phase for the continental showpiece. The fixture see Djibouti face South Sudan, Chad take on Burundi, Somalia play Mauritius, Seychelles come up against Lesotho, Eritrea drawn against Eswatini, while Sao Tome meets Ethiopia. Each tie will be played over 2 legs with teams competing for progression. The matches are scheduled to take place between March 25 and 31, 2026 as nations begin their push towards a place at the 2027 AFCON, or Africa's first continental or Africa's first tournament to be jointly hosted by 3 countries. Well, that's the very latest from the world of sport, and I am Bernard Abekoche.
That'll be all for this edition of Newsfeed here on Channel One TV. I am Charles Ozukumi. Thank you for watching.
It really hurts, but who's hurting more if we do not forgive others of their sins? Some they don't even know. This week, join Bishop Fred Kwanche-Mensah on Lifeline as we talk about forgiveness, what it is, what it isn't, and why it isn't for them.
You know, it's a new year. A lot of people are setting goals. A lot of people are excited. But the question is that, did you really and actually leave 2025 and its emotional baggage? In 2025, a lot of people have gotten into the new year, but they came with some baggage, resentment. If you hold bitterness, if you hold unforgiveness in your heart, it causes a lot of damage to yourself. I heard one great leader says, unforgiveness is like drinking poison and expecting the offender to die.
Lifeline airs on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 p.m. only on Channel One TV.
It's a brand new year. Hello there. Welcome to Trending Africa with me, Samuel Akom. On all social media platforms, I am at the Samuel Akom. Let me use this opportunity to wish all of you Happy New Year and a stupendous one. Trending Africa is a show where we take you through the African continent to bring you stories making the headlines. What stories are trending? Let's go for a quick break. When we return, we'll check all of these stories out. Don't go anywhere. Please do stay.
It really hurts, but who's hurting more if we do not forgive others of their sins? Some they don't even know. This week, join Bishop Fred Kwanche-Mensah on Lifeline as we talk about forgiveness, what it is, what it isn't, and why it isn't for them.
You know, it's a new year. A lot of people are setting goals. A lot of people are excited. But the question is that, did you really and actually leave 2025 and its emotional baggage? In 2025, a lot of people have gotten into the new year, but they came with some baggage, resentment. If you hold bitterness, if you hold unforgiveness in your heart, it causes a lot of damage to yourself. I heard one great leader says, unforgiveness is like drinking poison and expecting the offender to die.
Lifeline airs on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 p.m. only on Channel One TV.
Welcome back from the quick break. This is still Trending Africa with me, Samuel Akom. On all social media platforms, I am at the Samuel Akom. Let's begin the episode from Nigeria. And in Nigeria, let's go straight to the northern part, Kano State. Kano State over the years has been seen as the hub of entrepreneurship due to its population as well as the industrial nature of the area. And as a result of that, the youth in the area have taken it upon themselves to pursue different ways and means to make a living. In this report, Trust TV News' Abdul Ibrahim navigates the path to have engagement with some of the youth to find out how they are coping with the rising unemployment in the country. Check it out.
For centuries, Kano has served as a commercial nerve center for northern Nigeria, connecting traders to national and international supply chains. Recent studies indicate that in Nigeria's most populous state, at least 300,000 jobs must be created annually to tackle unemployment. Today, many university graduates now dominate these markets, venturing into entrepreneurship as formal employment opportunities remain limited.
The young people are overtaking, the old ones due to, the digitalization of the business. People are now on net, they are always on their phone, so they can, make purchases, they can put order and what have you. The only challenge, we just look at it, is young people enter business, they just enter the business without much knowledge.
Despite the opportunities, young entrepreneurs face persistent challenges. Volatile exchange rates, rising logistics costs, and poor storage facilities often determine profit or loss even before the goods reach the market. I've been in the importation of phones and laptops for the past 15 years, but the rising prices these days have wiped out profits. A laptop I once sold for 30,000 naira now costs nearly